French relative pronouns part 1. We are going to see in this lesson the words qui and que as relative pronouns with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. So qui and que have no equivalent in English. They can be the translation of who, which, that, or whom. We are going to see how to be sure to choose the correct relative pronoun. Let's start with qui. First, the relative pronoun is the subject, and it works for people and things. Let's take some example. I know a man who can do that. So in this sentence we have the relative pronoun who, and we would like to know how to translate it in French. So first we can divide our sentence into two parts. In each part we have a subject, this is I, and in the second part the subject is also the pronoun, it's who. We have a verb and a verb in the second part, and of course two complements. So here the interesting point for us is to know that who, the pronoun, is also the subject of can, of the verb, and for this reason, and this is the rule, we are going to translate it in French by qui. And the sentence is Je connais un homme qui peut faire ça. Okay? Let's take another example. I have a cat that is very lazy. In this sentence, it's a different relative pronoun in English. It is that. But actually, it's the same thing in French. We can divide this sentence into two parts, and we have, of course, our subject. That, the pronoun, is also the subject of the second part of the verb to be, and we have two complements. So the same rule, because that, the relative pronoun, is a subject, and it works for people, animal, things, etc. So for this reason, that is going to be translated in French by qui again. And the correct sentence is J'ai un chat qui est très paresseux. Okay? It's the first rule how to use qui. Let's see now when the relative pronoun is an indirect object. Why indirect object? Because in the sentence there is a preposition, and we are going to see some examples, and it works in French only with people. So the person I wrote to, in French we should say the person to whom I wrote, and in this case you can see that to is our preposition, and of course whom our pronoun. Because of this preposition to, whom is going to be translated in French by qui. The complete translation of the sentence is la personne à qui j'ai écrit, and of course in French we have our preposition à. Let's take another example. The guy my wife works for. So in French again we will say the guy for whom my wife works, and here we have a different preposition for our pronoun, and for this reason, because we have a preposition, whom will be translated in French by qui. And the complete sentence is le type pour qui ma femme travaille. Okay? So the second point is only with people. We use qui. So let's summarize what we have just seen, the 2 points to choose the relative pronoun qui in French. So first, when the English relative pronoun is a subject, it works for people and things. And second point, when the relative pronoun is an indirect object, because there is a preposition in the sentence, and it works only for people. In these two cases, we use qui in French. Let's see now the pronoun que. Third point, the relative pronoun is a direct object in this case, and it works for people and things. So let's see the sentence. The present I bought. So we can say the present that I bought. So here you can see we have our pronoun. It is that. So the pronoun is that. We have a subject and a verb. Let's consider the second part of our sentence from that I bought. Where is the subject? The subject is I here. It's not that. The pronoun is not the subject of the second part of the sentence. It's the direct object, actually, of the first part, the present that. For this reason, that is going to be translated by que in French, and not qui this time. Le cadeau que j'ai acheté. Let's take another example. The man I know can do that. Again, we can say the man that I know can do that. So here we have our pronoun that, and we have our subject I, and the verb to know. So exactly the same thing, because that is not the subject of the second part of the sentence, it is going to be translated by que in French. L'homme que je connais peut faire ça. Okay? So let's summarize what we have just seen. How to choose qui or que with two sentences. I have a cat that is very lazy. So if you remember the rule, you know how to translate that. To be sure, let's consider our sentence from that, the second part of the sentence, that is very lazy. Where is the subject in this sentence? The subject is that, the pronoun itself. For this reason, we are going to use qui in French. J'ai un chat qui est très paresseux. However, in the second sentence, even if we have the same that in English, the man that I know can do that. Let's consider the second part of the sentence starting with that I know can do that. Where is the subject in the sentence? The subject is I know. For this reason, that is going to be translated by que. So as you know, or as you can see here in this example, we have the same relative pronoun in English, that, but two different relative pronouns in French. In the first is qui because it's a subject, and second is que because it's a direct object. So go to the website, there is a quiz for you, and you will see if you understood everything. To finish this lesson, let's see how to translate the relative pronoun what, not the question, the relative pronoun. Because again, we have the choice between ce qui and ce que in French. So it's the same rule, so this it's easy to understand. I don't know what happened. So again, let's start from the pronoun what happened. Where is the subject in the second part of the sentence? The subject is of course our pronoun what. For this reason, we are going to translate it by ce qui. And the complete sentence is je ne sais pas ce qui est arrivé. Okay? I don't know what you want. So here again we have the same English relative pronoun, but the structure of the sentence is different. We have of course our pronoun, we have our verb, but where is the subject? The subject is you. Because what is not the subject, in this case we are going to translate it in French by ce que. Je ne sais pas ce que tu veux. Okay? C'est fini. Au revoir. Thank you for watching this slides with me. So go to the website to this address and you will see a quiz at the end of the lesson and the script of the lesson. And if you want to see the second part about lequel and do, go to the website too. Bye bye.